Today you're presenting Clinuvel, your company, in Vienna, in Austria. What's the importance of the Austrian market, of the Austrian investors for Clinuvel?
Well, the Austrian investors are pivotal in the existence of this company. They were the first ones who were almost discovered the company. We had high net worth individuals who started to contact us in Australia because they had shown interest in this company. And these individuals had a very long horizon. They understood that the development of the technology would take about 3 to 4 years to bring to market. And then we'd seen over the last 3.5 years that the audience had grown from high net worth individuals. We started to attract asset management companies. Then we saw that the institutions came in. So we have a reasonably large and loyal audience in Austria. So it's natural that we confront them and give them an update. And second, which is also pivotal to the existence of this company, every new technology needs support groups, needs continuous feedback from those that are going to use it. In our case, it's the physicians, the specialists worldwide. So we have invited the last 2 days the most acclaimed and renowned professors in dermatology and medicine to Vienna to evaluate the progress and this drug. These physicians will be the ones that will prescribe the drug in a year from now. So we need to give both attention to the investors and to the medical community. What we've seen over the last 4 years is the continuous regulatory progress has almost been awarded interest from the various asset management groups. Most investors ask us whether these small indications actually yield the revenues that they expect. Like any business, it is important to look at the fundamentals of your technology. And the technology reduces or mitigates certain diseases. At the same time, one also has to understand that the regulatory landscape over the last 20 years has changed. And our industry is fraught with failures. You can safely say that most drugs never see the market because the regulatory risk is very high. So what we've chosen is a very different model. We first looked at the benefit that this drug would provide to patients, regardless the market size. And we found a few severe indications where the benefit of this drug is undisputed or would pass the test of the regulators. And these severe indications are arguably smaller indications. They're called orphan drugs. So the bad news is that the market of these orphan diseases is not huge. That's granted. However, as a business case, there are various companies in the world, and I don't want to use the names of my competitors, but that have specialized on orphan drugs. And these orphan drugs are truly close to $1 billion each. So small doesn't mean small in monetary gains or returns at all. We've performed interim analyses of these phase 3 trials for 2 reasons. First of all, when one exposes human biology, patients to a new drug, we wanted to know whether this drug was safe in the last phase, in this phase 3. So we evaluated 14 patients in Switzerland on this drug. And the results in January had shown us that the drug had been safe over a period of 12 months, consecutive use, and that the drug actually reduced or mitigated the symptoms that these patients had from UV. In simple terms, the disease that these patients suffer from has been reduced by this drug. And we've got 87 patients left in these trials that will be evaluated, who will be evaluated by the end of the year. And together, the 101 patients will serve as the data that we need to submit to regulators to get this drug approved. So in business terms, we wanted to have a reasonable comfort that the drug worked. And once we obtained that, we proceeded with the trial to complete it by October, November 2009. We'll evaluate the data and submit the dossier to the regulators. And then it's the hands of the regulators to decide whether they will approve the data and get the drug to market. Well, the FDA has been very important for us because as the third management in this company, when we started in 2006, we had set ourselves various objectives. And one of them was to enter the US market. And the US markets constitute 50% of the world pharmaceutical market. So evidently it's important for us to be there. But the strategy was really to start in Europe, Switzerland and Australia to show the proof of concept of medicinal photoprotection, the benefit of giving photoprotection to the skin against any UV damage that we incur on a daily basis. And we found with 5 medical diseases a true benefit for this drug. So in drug development, the 2 parameters that you look at constantly is first safety. Is it safe to use a new drug? And second of all is does it serve any medical benefit? And we call that in the very expensive word efficacy. So when the safety and the efficacy are met, you know that you have a value proposition that will truly come to market. And the US are the most difficult regulators worldwide. And as you know from the history of this company, the first 10 years, the strategy wasn't tailored towards the US. So with the FDA approval that we obtained in 2009, we have a true breakthrough in this company. So it's the first step to commercialize this drug in the US. How does it go from here on? Well, we're starting the phase 1 and phase 3 trials in the US within 2 months, while we have progressed to the last phase of testing in Europe, Australia and Switzerland. So we will first apply for marketing authorization in those 3 markets before we go to the US. The US comes a year later. I think it needs to be said that one has always the challenge of proving regulators that a new drug, a novel technology is safe. And we've done that over the last 15 years, where the safety profile of this drug is close to impeccable, due to the fact that it only lasts for a few minutes in the bloodstream. But the effect that we want to achieve is to activate pigmentation. And pigmentation in the skin serves a medicinal benefit. It absorbs UV light. And we found several severe diseases in fair-skinned patients that suffer more than a normal population from UV diseases. And that change in strategy has proven very fruitful and beneficial. And we're now reasonably hopeful that this drug now comes to market after 2 decades of development.